can you give a synopsis for the movie? Just like if someone asked you, "Hey, I saw that you did that review on Stella. What's it about?"
Stella starts in 1969. It's about this woman who is a bartender, and it seems like she may have lived a pretty hard life. And she has a friend who is also a bartender. I believe he owned the bar. And she performs this dance that's kind of like a striptease, but without taking any clothes off. It was all just a joke. And all of the guys think it's really funny. And that's how she meets this man who tries to get her to go on a date. And it's the dad from Seventh Heaven. And it really creeped me out knowing what we know about him now. But anyway, he was very forward and tried to get her to go on this date. She finally obliges. They end up dating for about 3 months while he's in this town. And then he has to go back to New York to finish his residency or something to become a doctor. And he's a more wealthy man. She's more poor, grew up poor, isn't fancy. I don't know. And anyway, she ends up pregnant. They don't know what they're going to do about the baby. She can't decide whether she wants to keep it or not. And he offers to marry her, but she doesn't think that's a good idea, nor does she think he's sincere. There is a really cool scene with balloons that we might talk about later that goes on about that part. And ultimately, he leaves. She has the baby. She raises the baby. We flash forward about 15 years, and her kid's in high school. And he has come to visit her at some point, and they have like some kind of relationship, and she goes to visit him occasionally. But that didn't start until she was about 3 years old. He was just out of her life until she was 3. And at this point, so she does go visit her dad in New York, but she lives with her mom. Her mom is like her best friend, and they've been best friends her whole life. And we see a lot of things happen between the mom and the daughter, and the dad and the daughter, and the dad and the daughter's relationship gets better and better. The mom and daughter's relationship stays about the same as it's always been, except the mom starts to see that her lifestyle, she doesn't think she can give her daughter all that she deserves, and thinks that the way they live might introduce her to things that might put her more on the mom's track of life, and that she might not accomplish her goals of becoming an architect. And so she makes the decision, which I'm sure is a really tough decision, to have the girl go live with her father, who is getting married. And she'll have a stepbrother, and they'll live in a nice house and have money and not be in contact with the bad people in Stella's area in life. And she ends up lying to her daughter and saying she doesn't want her anymore, and trying to convince her semi-unconvincingly that she doesn't want her, and she wants her to go live with her dad. And that's what ends up happening. She goes and lives with her dad, and then it flash forwards again. She's getting married, and Stella's there looking in the window, and it tears you up inside. And roll credits.
Can you do a synopsis now that's like under a minute? He legit talked for like 4 minutes about that. I just sat here.